Hello, dear friends. It is said being rich is very boring, but it wouldn't be so bad to be bored from time to time. Opinion piece. Speeding up. Endgame. Opportunity. On the brink. We won at dawn. Sense of urgency. Critical turning point. The cycles have aligned. Path to a new structure. The signs are not hidden. Transition to a new beginning. The system has reached its limit. It's not the end, but the transition. There is no collapse, but invisibility. Both chaos and harmony are accelerating. From external control to self-management. Let's start. We are witnessing an acceleration of the timeline. What was developing at a slow, even comfortable pace is now moving at a faster pace. The process we were waiting for has quietly begun, according to Axios 4b. When the lights go out, the old system is silenced, and when the system is silenced, the new structure can be set in motion. All nations that comply with the GISR standard are transitioning to a new gold-backed currency. The gold-backed banknote will become the global standard. The signs are no longer hidden. The cycles have aligned. The system has reached its limit. What you see is not a coincidence, but authorization. This is the moment when preparation becomes execution. Timing is everything, and the opportune moment is now. Those who laughed yesterday are silent today. Those who waited ask questions. Those who were prepared remain calm. This is not exaggeration, but confirmation. They thought the game was reached, but they forgot one thing. There is always an ace up their sleeve. There is no noise or chaos, only precision. Every move is measured, every step calculated, and every change authorized. The play is deliberate, the timing is exact, and the impact is unavoidable. What appears to be silence is positioning, and what appears to be delay is alignment. The boat is set, the ace is in play, and the endgame has begun. The coalition is carrying out massive asset seizures, recovering trillions stolen by the elite. These funds will be returned to the people. The tax system will be abolished. The tax system designed to funnel wealth to the elite is finished. It will be replaced by a new fair tax system that will eliminate income tax and introduce a small flat tax on the sale of non-essential goods. The system did not collapse. It changed its operating standard. A new layer is introduced when the old parameters can no longer maintain volume, control and trust. Not publicly, but quietly. When the engines can no longer operate within the old limits, they are forced to become cleaner. When the networks can no longer handle the traffic, they are forced to become quieter. When the banks can no longer move their weight, they are forced to become invisible. This is the final phase of any system, not collapse, but invisibility. That's why there are no real announcements, no confirmation call, no official date. Real change doesn't require permission but alignment. People waiting for a signal to act were never part of the signal. People waiting for a message missed the pattern. Recognition isn't based on belief or loyalty, but on response. Who stays calm during chaos? Who tracks the flow instead of fear? Who adapts without panicking? That's why scams cling to the term. They need urgency, confusion, and attention. The real process doesn't need any of that, but it's already underway. This isn't the end, but the transition point. It's the moment when the old structure can no longer continue without transforming into something else. By the line the public realizes what has changed, the change will already feel normal. That's how you know it worked. Stay still, stay alert, don't look for the noise, watch the roots. The network is quiet for a reason. Turning point. We are on the brink of the abyss, and everyone feels it, according to Kavamur. We need to get here to learn what needed to be learned. Aside from all the clues they have given us, we know that change will happen for us because the Pleiadians confirmed it. The change is occurring due to technological advancements, demographic decline, and the rise in global conflicts. The Pleiadians confirm that this temporary chaos is unavoidable, indicating that humanity is at a critical turning point. Humanity is at the most technologically advanced point in history, but younger generations are becoming less intelligent than older generations. We have reached the point of population decline, meaning that humans are dying faster than they are being born. This is partly due to widespread human cloning. Artificial intelligence and robotics technology are advancing and at an accelerated pace and will soon surpass human beings. Global conflicts are on the rise. Madmen are called virtuous. Liars are called truthful. Sense of urgency. Kerry Kay states that this year's timeline has accelerated beyond what was anticipated, creating a sense of urgency for humanity and impacting subsequent years. She explains that the moment and speed have been reached that cannot be reversed. That a momentum and speed have been reached that cannot be reversed. What was developing at a slow, even comfortable pace is now moving at a faster rate, both physically and in terms of people's internal readjustment. In her view, humanity is heading toward a physical pole shift while simultaneously experiencing an internal pole shift. This process is accelerating beyond individual control. This is why many have abandoned thought as the sole path and have begun to use other resources. Kerry Kay indicates that consent is being withdrawn from external reality. The missionaries of light are ceasing to expect the external world to return their power and are moving toward self-governance and inner guidance. The focus is shifting from external authority to internal consciousness and self-management. This shift reduces attention to external announcements or events designed to distract, such as pronouncements about celestial phenomena. Interest is directed inward, toward greater self-awareness, without this implying egocentrism. Enough people are making this movement to generate a global effect. The process relies not only on mental analysis, but also on a consolidating inner energy. Moments of confusion, fear, or resistance may arise when the forward propulsion feels too rapid or is perceived as free fall. In such cases, life ceases to flow smoothly and is experienced as a descent to a lower timeline, acting as a signal to regain alignment. Darkness has exceeded its scope, and humanity responds with disinterest in external control mechanisms. Beyond what is predicted for 2026, any previous script plan or prediction is abandoned, and we enter a quantum unfolding that demands presence and spontaneity. Both chaos and harmony accelerate, but established speed continues to propel the forward movement. Pole shift. According to Kerry Kay, the pole shift is a dual physical and internal process that precedes it. She describes a final reversal of the magnetic poles as an event that will occur in this lifetime. She presents it as part of the Ascension cycle and the end of the false matrix, without implying physical destruction for those who are at the appropriate frequency. In her view, this is not an end, but a marker, the physical push that allows the frequency shift to a fifth-dimensional reality. She compares the process to the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. Many people will not need to abandon their physical form to go through it because they will experience it as ascension. This physical change is related to the acceleration of timelines, the division of realities, and a subsequent solar flare. Kerry Kay states that this internal process already began in 2025 as the start of a new era, and that light workers are incorporating it, not only meditation. It is a preparation and a stabilizer prior to the physical event. She links this internal pole shift to the withdrawal of attention from external authority, the increase in self-management, and the acceleration of the 2026 timeline beyond what was anticipated. The focus shifts from waiting for revelation or external changes to an internal transformation that generates its own momentum. Final phase. We are entering the final phase and will win at dawn as we regain control, according to the X22 report, which analyzes a structural shift in global geopolitics and details the recovery of individual privacy. The report describes the battle between the central banking apparatus and the movement to restore national sovereignty, and details a multi-front conflict involving trade maneuvers, energy markets, technological surveillance, and a strategic economic war designed to dismantle decades of central control. According to the analysis, central banks are using proxy nations to counter sovereign economic policies. These proxy entities attempt to maintain a system based on debt, offshoring of production, and central financial leverage through tariff disputes. Trade manipulations and alignment with globalist policies have been key factors. However, these strategic measures have garnered the central banking system. Instead of following traditional rules, this strategy focuses on dismantling the established order. The decentralization of oil markets is undermining the influence previously wielded by central banks, and globalist control over energy prices is breaking down. As the fiat debt model wakens, investors are increasingly shifting capital into tangible, decentralized assets. The rising valuations for gold and silver indicate that the public is preparing for the transition away from a failing monetary system. As the global monetary infrastructure is restructured and public awareness grows, the focus shifts to restoring economic independence, individual freedom, and national sovereignty. The strategy expands into a geopolitical war being waged behind the scenes. Current events are presented as a campaign to dismantle the dark side networks embedded within the system. Instead of resorting to traditional military intervention, the strategy relies on economic sanctions, financial strangulation, and executive authority to cut off money laundering routes. Conventional smartphones track user behavior, compromise personal data, and serve as surveillance tools. To counter this, the report highlights privacy-focused solutions emphasizing ghost phones hardened with Graphene OS, a privacy-focused operating system endorsed by Edward Snowden, or recommended by Edward Snowden, as a tool for those seeking to reclaim their digital autonomy. Graphene OS is hardened Android operating system geared towards privacy and security. This operating system is only available on Google Pixel phones, from the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 10 series, but the Pixel 8 and later models are recommended for enhanced security. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.